Hey guys, I'm Becky from Book Bite Reviews and welcome to another reading vlog. This vlog is a special vlog because it is going to be a vlog in review of one book in particular, and that book is Claiming the Succubus by Lorien. A big thank you goes to Silver Dagger Book Tours for sending me this book in exchange for an honest review. I have just started this book today, just a couple hours ago while I was still at work. I started it, and so far I'm very intrigued. It is a pretty short book. I think it's only like 86 pages, so I'm ready to get into it. Today is a very gloomy day. It just started raining and nothing makes me want to read more than rain. So this is like the perfect setting. I cannot wait. So let's talk a little bit about this book. So this book is about a half succubus, half human, I think. I'm not positive what the other half is. I think it's human, but not sure yet, who is a bounty hunter of the paranormal. And she's on the hunt for a werewolf shifter who has kidnapped her sister. Now, our succubus is used to getting her way, but things may not be exactly how it's supposed to be with the shifter. And he must try to prove his innocence to our succubus once he realizes that she is on his tail as well. From the sounds of it, I think this is going to be an alternating points of view. So far, the 3 pages I read at work have been from our succubus, whose name is Ava. I really hope it's alternating point of view. You guys know how much I love alternating POV, so I hope that that's the case. I feel like we get a lot more perspective that way, especially if it's a short story like this. Alternating POV works fantastic and usually makes a much more well-rounded short story. So I'm hoping that that is the case. I will also say that as I give my thoughts, I will definitely try to be critical as well as express my enjoyment, because critical reading and enjoyment reading are two totally different things for me. A book could have problems but still be enjoyable and get a high rating. So I will try to explain critically about this book as well as just how I'm enjoying the book. And I also judge short stories a little bit different just because they have a smaller amount of content. And I feel like I kind of am a little bit more lax when it comes to short stories because of that fact. If you have like a long, full-length novel and it's not that great, we've got bigger problems than a short story. So keep all that in mind as I talk about this book. So while I'm reading, I will be vlogging my experience, telling you guys my thought, and then at the end of this vlog, once I have finished the book, I will give you guys my star rating as well as an overall review of the book. Book 1 is the only one that I agreed to review, but they also sent me book 2 because the blog tour for this book is actually for book 2's release. So I do have book 2. I haven't committed to reading it, but I do have it on hand in the event that I want to read it, which who knows? But let's go ahead and talk about book 2 since it's honestly the reason for the blog tour. So book 2 is called Mating the Succubus. This book is also a short story. This one is 95 pages, so just a couple pages more than the first one. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? If I really end up loving this book, then I'll probably go ahead and read book 2 and try to read them both in this vlog. Today it is Tuesday. This vlog needs to go up on Sunday, so it's a possibility, but we'll see. So right now I'm going to change out of my work clothes. I'm gonna get into some nice comfy pajamas. I'm going to light a candle in my new lantern that I just bought. I was shopping for Halloween stuff on Amazon, just window shopping, adding stuff to my wish list. Hopefully I get some things. And I saw all these really, really cool lanterns, decided to go ahead and buy one, and they are made to really work with real candles, and I'm so freaking stoked about it, you guys. So I'm gonna go get changed, and then you'll see some footage of me lighting a candle in my new lantern. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah.
chapter 3, which is 16% of the way through the book, and it is told in alternating points of view. Already there have been some steamy thoughts, but nothing more than a steamy makeout sesh so far. But I am really enjoying it. It's pretty intriguing, and I feel like already the world building is really good because we're kind of like thrown into the story and we're like slowly learning what the hierarchy and rules are for this society, and I'm really enjoying it. It turns out that our wolf is telling the truth. He has nothing to do with her sister being kidnapped, and he thinks that they're both being played by her boss and that her boss is trying to get rid of both of them. I'm gathering that he may have like more powerful powers than what the norm is, because he said that you would know that your boss is setting you up if you knew what I could do, but I'm falling asleep. I had the lights off with my lantern going, which that candle is definitely way too small for that lantern, so I definitely need to find a bigger candle, which I don't currently have. I need to buy some bigger candles. I'm getting so sleepy, so I think I'm going to get a cup of coffee, even though it is almost 9 o'clock, so it's a bad idea, but I'm tired and I want to read, so we're gonna do that. Hey guys, what's a vlog without showing your true self? So it is the next day. I've taken a shower and now my hair is drying, but I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys. So last night, the last time I updated you, I think I was at the 15% mark, which was chapter 3, if I'm not mistaken. And I was telling you guys how I was getting really tired and I got some coffee and I was gonna try to push through it. So the coffee made me more tired, which, if you didn't know, can happen. If you are that exhausted, adding more caffeine to your body will actually do the opposite effect. So that happened. But I got to the 40% mark and then I crashed. And then I woke up and finished the book accidentally. We can't have this vlog just be like 5 minutes long. I mean, we could, but I don't want it to. So we're gonna talk about book 1 and then I'm gonna go ahead and start reading book 2 and vlog my experience with that one. Hopefully better. So let's talk about book 1. There are some things that I really liked and some things that I didn't hate but didn't like super love. So this book is kind of supposed to be, I really don't know what it's supposed to be honest. There's a romance and there's also this adventure sort of element where somebody's trying to kill them and she needs to save her sister. And to be honest, I could have done without the saving her sister. I was very invested in the romance. I will say it's insta-love, but it's because of the fact that he's a werewolf and he finds out that she is his mate. Now, I'm somebody who usually gets behind insta-love, especially if they use some kind of excuse like it's his mate and as soon as you meet your mate, you know, and it's insta-love. And I'm like, I buy it. Tell me more. So the fact that it was insta-love did not bother me, but I definitely want to mention it because I know there's a lot of people out there who do not like insta-love and who also don't like romance-heavy books. This is a romance-heavy book. I feel like that is the point. It's not like you're going into this expecting this adventure and this romance comes out of nowhere. You know what you're getting into, but I like to be very clear that this is a romance-heavy book. It isn't insta-love. It's a paranormal. Take with that what you will. That's like the best recipe for me. So honestly, I could have lived without the adventure part, or I could have lived with less of it. I would have really loved more of the romance and more sex scenes. The sex scenes that we did have were great. They were steamy. I loved them. But there's like no way we could have gotten more without the book being longer because of the fact that they are on like a time crunch of finding her sister and saving her before something happens, if it hasn't already. So it was like they couldn't really just like pause and have sex because her sister's life is in the balance. The only time that they did have sex before the adventure starts is because of the fact that she's a succubus and to survive she must have sex, and now that he knows that she's his mate, he would rather be the person to satisfy her. So they like kind of had no choice but to have sex at that point. But it still wasn't just like, we're just doing this because you need it. It was like, you need it and we're gonna make it great. Overall arch of the adventure plot in this book is wrapped up in this book, and to me it felt a bit rushed. it kind of made sense just because of the timeline of what was going down. Like, it was supposed to be happening in this amount of space. If it was a full-length novel, this section still would have probably happened in that same amount of time. So it didn't really feel rushed, but it just felt like there was a lot happening when I wanted to get to know the characters a bit more. But with saying all that, I still really liked the characters. I did feel an attachment to them. I want to know more, and I enjoyed myself. So critically, I say it's probably a little bit of a faster pace than what people would normally like. Some will probably have liked it better if the adventure plot would have taken place over a longer period of time, like over a number of books instead of all being wrapped up in this one book, but I still really, really enjoyed it. So I think for my overall rating, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's probably more like a 4.25 to a 4.5, but for sake of sanity, it's a 4-star book. Since this tour was created for book 2, I feel like it's only meant to be that I go ahead and just pick up the second book. We could end this vlog here, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to try and be as spoiler-free as possible with the second book. It is following a different set of characters. So book 1 followed Ava and Killian. Book 2 is going to follow 2 different characters, and in order of not giving away anything of book 1 in case you decide to pick up the book, I'm not going to tell you who the characters are or any like plot points at all. I'm going to be very vague and very spoiler-free as possible. So it will be interesting. I am also going to try to update you guys a whole lot more when reading book 2, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm expecting to read this one in the same amount of time as I read this one, so it should be no big deal, and I'm pretty excited about it. I will say that I don't really know what to exactly expect from this book. It sounds like it's pretty similar to book 1, but having different characters. And I'm a little nervous about that going in. I'm really hoping that it kind of adds to the world and adds to our experience and isn't just like a carbon copy of book 1, but with different characters and a slightly different plot. So I am a little nervous going into it, which is why I also really want to do this. So now I'm going to get back to work, get ready. I have some videos to film this afternoon, and then when I get off work, I will start reading and update you guys again. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. Last night, I fell down a Netflix hole and didn't do any reading. Well, I did some reading, but I didn't do any reading for this vlog. But now I have about 45 minutes until I need to start working from home. So I'm going to finally start mating the succubus. Alright, so I've gotten to chapter 3, and so far, I think I'm going to like this book more than book 1. It's already like a lot steamier. Nothing has happened between our 2 characters, but they both have dirty thoughts for one another, but are trying to resist being around or doing anything about those thoughts. So I really, really love when both characters are trying to fight their attraction. So I'm here for it. I think this is going to be better than book 1. Okay, so I got to chapter 6, and this book is so much steamier than the first one, and we still like haven't done anything. It's wild. So far I'm liking this one a lot more than the first one. I'm hoping that the pacing and sexual tension and things like that keep at the same pace throughout the book, because so far I'm really, really enjoying it. Like right now, if it ended, I would give it 5 stars. And nothing has happened, you guys. Like literally nothing has happened in this book. But I'm enjoying it so much so far, just because, I mean, we are like almost at the 40% mark. And so far, my notes about the first one are coming true in this one, where there's like a lot more of the romance, sexual energy, and a little bit less of the action plot line. Now, I did just get a small dose of the action plot line, and if anything, it just left me very, very intrigued and wanting to know more. And I felt like with the other one, I was like intrigued just because I wanted them to finally get together. And the action plot line needed to happen in order for them to be able to
be together. There's slightly another like ticking clock on the action part, but not really. And I almost feel like if things go correctly, that they wouldn't even really need to solve the problem that they're currently trying to solve. That's all I'll say so far, but I'm really, 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 really enjoying this. Hey guys, so it's the next day, and last night I read a pretty big chunk of the book. I have 2 chapters left, so I made sure to stop so that I could update you before I finish the book again. But we just got to a sex scene finally. Our characters have finally had sex, and it was extremely steamy. It was extremely well written though, and I really, really enjoyed it. The action plot is definitely taking a back burner compared to the romance plot, which is something I wanted in book 1. So I'm very, very happy for it in this one. I think if you're not that into romance, you're not going to enjoy this one because you're going to not understand why all this is happening. I mean, the pacing of it is really well done, so I think that it's not done in a way where you're kind of like, get on with it already. Like, I thought there was a timeline and stuff like that. Like, the pacing is still within the original timeline, so it doesn't seem kind of like they're wasting time. So there's only 2 chapters left, and we have kind of learned like basically nothing of the action plot line. So I'm guessing that these last 2 chapters will be about the actual, I don't want to say like the actual plot of this book, because I think the plot of this book is supposed to be the sex. But the other plot of this book, that plot line, I think is going to happen now because there's no other time for it. I'm very eager to get back into it. I'm really, really enjoying myself. I think all of the things that I wished book 1 had is coming true in this one, and I'm just having a really good time. I'm enjoying this one a lot more than book 1, and I really liked book 1. So as soon as I finish the last 2 chapters, which probably won't be till like way later today, I'm hoping that by the end of this one, I'll know if another book is coming, because right now there's like no word of that. I haven't done that much research, but as far as like Goodreads is concerned, there isn't another one, but we'll find out. The next day, and I just got done with Mating the Succubus, book 2. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I definitely enjoyed book 2 a lot more than book 1. I think that this one would probably fall in like a 4.5 kind of range. I think just for, again, purpose of sanity, we're gonna give it a 4-star. I really, really liked it until chapter 11. Chapter 11 and 12 is kind of what took a little bit of a dip for me, because I realized that this entire book takes place in like 12 hours maybe, I don't know, less than a day for sure, and it all just seemed a bit rushed. I know that it's a short story, but I just felt like it would have been nicer if we would have gotten a little bit more backstory on what our character is doing before she meets back up with our other character, and then they have all their fun times, which I really, really enjoyed. And then maybe like the next day, which would be like chapter 11, they start to make some progress, and then chapter 12 be a wrap up. I will say though, what ends up happening, although the last 2 chapters felt a bit rushed, I felt like the pacing was still really nice, because it isn't in either book, it isn't an ending that is an ending for the entire plot line. It's just an ending for those characters' involvement. Although it's kind of rushed, it's kind of like on this day, this part of the plot is happening with these 2 characters, and then they kind of like pass the baton, and now these 2 characters in a day do their part, and then now we're gonna have the next set. But basically, instead of creating one full-length novel that has all these different characters and all their different points of view, our author has split it up amongst short stories with just these characters' parts. Although I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely interested in continuing on, like for sure I would read the next book and probably more books after that, as long as I still enjoyed book 3. It just doesn't have a 5-star vibe for me, but I do want to just make sure that it's known that this is a series that I would recommend, and if you're into short stories and paranormal romance, I would highly suggest that you pick it up. So guys, I think that that is everything. I think that this is the end of the vlog. It was definitely a lot of fun. It was really cool to check out this new to me author and this new series, and again, I'm really excited to see where it's going to go. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it and you want to see more bookish content from me, please hit subscribe, and if you want to be notified as soon as my videos go live here on YouTube, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!